Okay, so here we are with the tracks. So, as I said, I love these. I love the fact that they mould them. There may be some, you know, they mould them onto the side tracks, so you get all this stuff on here instead of having to put it on yourself. Now, you may have to clean up little bits and pieces, some air bubbles here and there, or some little defects, but it doesn't really matter. They're so tiny and so minute. If you get a really bad one, my advice is to ring up Forge World and just say, look, you know, I got this off you. It's a really bad cast. Can I send it back? And 10 times out of 10, what they will do is they will either send you the new piece, or they will cast you a new piece. And if you're really lucky, if the model's really, really bad, they'll send you an entire brand new model. But that's rare, but it does happen. But you know, it's a fantastic model. But you know, it's just got a few breakages here and there, and you're going to have to repair stuff. So let's move on to what we got. So here's our side sponsons. I've decided to go with the heavy flamers because, you know, I think they need a nice close combat weapon, and this is quite good. Flamers are quite good against Nids and Imperial Guard and Renegade, so flamers are a good all-round weapon, really. So make sure when you're putting this together that you've got a lot of freedom, because when you start coating this in paint, it's going to start sticking up. So just make sure you've got a bit more freedom around it when you're sticking it together. Let it move. What I've done is I've actually scraped and scalpeled and cleaned up all the way around it, sort of thing, so I've just got a bit of movement around there. So didn't realise you couldn't see that, so let's just focus in on that. There you go. So you've got lots of movement to it, and there's a lot of space to play around with when you paint it. Anyway, so this, if you notice, has two little pins, resin pins, which will fit into these holes right here. So we're going to glue that to that, making sure that it's level and it's not pitched at an angle. So I'll get the glue out, let's stick it together. And you can hear that outside, it's torrential rain. Here in the UK we've had lots and lots of sun, and all of a sudden now we're getting lots and lots of rain, which is quite nice. I prefer the rain. I prefer it to be windy, cold, than to be piping hot. Not really a hot weather person. Right, anyway, so I digress. So there we go. I'm now just going to stick this to this, and we'll have a look what it looks like. So it's just now finding the pins to fit into the two holes. That kind of looks good. Yep, there they go, we found them. So let's just keep that away. I tend to, if there's a moving part and you're gluing something, I tend to keep this moving as much as I can until it's dried, just so it doesn't stick. There we go. I think that's pretty cool. It all looks good to me. So there's not much green stuffing going to be needed there either. I mean, you know, it's a minimal gap, so that's actually quite cool. Okay, happy with that side. So that's that sponson done, and we just follow the same process again on the other side. So let me just focus on that. Make sure you leave your file down the edges to give yourself lots of movement, so you can actually twist it all around. Oh, that's in upside. Oh no, that's the right way around. Sorry, I do apologise. Thought it was upside down then. The best way to do that is to check the little window in the model just there. That should always be at the top. Anyway, okay, so here we go. So we're going to now stick this one to the other sponson. So I'm just out of camera for a second. Just putting a bit of glue on here and there, and we'll get that. Oh, just making sure that there's lots of freedom there to move around. Let's just make sure there's no glue on there. Okay, so we're now going to glue this to this bit here. So I'll just make sure that the holes are in place. That looks quite good to me. Okay, let's just make sure that's freed up and not stuck in. Last thing you want it to do is stuck facing the opposite way. Right, let's push that in. We might have to use a bit of activate on this because it's quite loose. So let's do that. Okay, that's actually quite cool. Okay, right, well we'll stick these now to the main body and see how it looks. See you in a second. Hi guys, okay, well here we are, and we're going to stick the two side tracks onto the main body, which we're looking forward to doing. Okay, and that's going to start to give it its shape. So, super glue, as usual. I tend to use super glue. It's really good using super glue with resin. You can buy 2-part epoxy resin, or you can buy 2-part glues that do the job, but I always use super glue. I even use super glue for my plastic models as well, because I don't like the plastic glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to take that, and that's going to slot into there like so. So it just fits into this bit. So we take the main hole, we attach the tracks to the main hole, and we let that set. Now a good way of doing that is to take your accelerator, find a gap, squirt it into it. Because it's a liquid, it'll always find a way to get to where it needs to. So it will seep into the cracks like water, seeps into the cracks, and we'll just flow it into there. So that'll seep into there. So that's stuck now, which is fantastic. So that's our first side sponson fitted on. Brilliant. See the shape of that? It's looking really good. I love this shape. It's got a real First World War sort of tank to it. I mean, it's just look to it, so I do apologise. Absolutely lovely. So here we go. We're going to do the same with the other side. So I'm going to put this down for a second. If I wanted, I could spray accelerator on that side, but for now, because it's such a huge surface, we're just going to concentrate on getting the glue in these gaps just here, and we're going to follow that around. As you can see, just swirly patterns covering the area, because when you press two flat surfaces together, that will spread out. So again, we're going to take this, we're going to match it into there, and then clip it into there, which is fantastic. Okay, that's what we want. That's the way it's looking. It's looking good. Just hold it there for a second. Oops. Let's just spin that around. Let's take our accelerator. Let's just spray it in there. Let's spray it into there. So we need it to find the gap. Okay, there we go. That's our tank. And it's just tracks all sorted. Right, well I'll see you in the next part, where we'll concentrate on putting this section together and this section here together. See you soon. Bye.